Hey everybody, I hope we're live. This is Mr. Steve Allen back here, amazing guitar player in the group 2020. If you Google him, you'll see he was on American Bandstand with Dick Clark when he was like 3. And we're going to play some things for you. We are writers in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was going to start with one that Steve and I wrote, but I'm going to start with one that I wrote on the way home from West Palm Beach, March 14th, about the time that the whole Corona thing started. And we could barely get home, and the gig I was down there to do got canceled. And so I kind of came up with this song, and I've got a new record that Steve Allen's all over it, but this is one of them. It's called Crazy Time. I don't know how I came up with that title, but we're going to do it. From Nashville, Tennessee, the volunteer state in the USA. Well, we've been hearing about crazy times, crazy times, crazy times. Please keep in mind, we'll get through these crazy times. And remember, we're all in this together. Yeah, keep asking what we can do to make it better. Yeah, that's how we'll get through these crazy times. Show some common sense for the common good. There's so many things that we can do. We gotta pull together, not get pulled apart. We can't reach out our hands, so reach out our hearts in these crazy times. Yeah, trust who knows the truth and who's telling lies in these crazy times. Steve Allen. The more we buy fear, the stronger fear gets. Find some joy and happiness. Pet the dog, take a walk, hug your kids while you're off the grid. Learn to cook, read a book, find a quiet place to meditate and pray, pray, pray. Play some music, call a friend, tell the ones you love them again and again. Yeah, that's how we'll get through these crazy times. Yeah, that's how we'll get through these crazy times. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. Don't believe what you read on social media. These crazy times. Yeah, trust who knows the truth and who's telling lies in these crazy times. What else is possible now? How's it get any better than this? Keep asking, what else is possible now? How's it get any better than this? And this too shall pass. Steve Allen on guitar.
KB.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. I love the people at ToneWood-Amps. They are like family, just the best bunch of people. And so I'd like to thank Helene and Offer, and especially David, the tech man, who got us up and running 1 minute after we were supposed to be on here. So I'm glad to be here. And And I'm going to do one that I wrote with Mr. Steve Allen, and I'm going to tell the story behind it. And I've got a little white dog named Mick, and I've got a place where I walk my dogs every day. It's a lake near here. It's called Radnor Lake. And if you come to visit Nashville, please don't go there. It's so overcrowded now. But one day I was walking, and this guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, you stole my dog." And I said, "Well, he's rescued. He may be your dog." He said, "No, my dog died a couple of years ago, but he looks just like him." So every once in a while I'd see Steve out there and he'd kid and he'd say, "That's my dog." And so one day I'm out there and I hadn't seen him in a while and he didn't look very good. And I said, "Man, what's the matter?" He said, "Well, my wife's dying of a brain tumor." And I went, "My wife died of a brain tumor? Wow." And I said, "If you ever need to talk or whatever, we can meet out here." And we still didn't know each other's names. And that was the last time I saw him. He kind of disappeared. And then next time I saw him, his wife had passed away. And I said, "Man, we can go out here and walk." Still didn't know each other's name. And I said, "I'm Kent." And he said, "I'm Steve." And I said, "What do you do?" And he says, "I play guitar and write songs." And I said, "Hey, I play guitar and write songs." So we started walking and talking. He's in a great band here called the Long Players. And so I asked him to join my band. And he did. And we've had a lot of fun playing. And we started writing songs together. And I wanted to write a song about the whole thing. He's found a new woman that he's madly in love with. They got married a year ago. And I found a great wife. And so this is kind of a story behind that. And so hope you guys enjoy it. It's called Thanks to You. I remember the day my whole world came crashing down. Thought I'd be better off buried 6 feet in the ground. All I could see was black day and night. If my heart had stopped beating, it would have been alright. But thanks to you, I'm coming back from the dead. Thanks to you, I'm looking up ahead, and I'm gonna be alright. I've got a big in life, thanks to you. Who's that man in the mirror I never thought I would see? Who's that happy stranger smiling back at me? There's a spring in my step, like I'm walking off the ground. Girl, it took your love to turn my world around. Thanks to you, I'm coming back from the dead. Yeah, thanks to you, I'm looking up ahead. Oh, and I'm gonna be alright. I've got a plan in life. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Could have dreamed, but thanks to you, I'm coming back from the dead. Yeah, thanks to you, I'm looking up ahead. Oh, and I'm gonna be alright. I've got a second life. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. brother.
Middle of the day.
That's why he's Steve Allen. So on that one on the Tonewood, I had an overdrive on with the reverb, but I believe I'm going to take that off and just go to the reverb right now. And so hold on a second here. So in Nashville, Tennessee, I had a recording studio, and I was using demo singers because if you live in Nashville and you sing like me, you try to get the best singers that you can to sing your songs to present to A&R people and producers, artists, stuff like that. So at the time, if you're a country fan, you'll know some of these names. The singers that I had were Martina McBride, Faith Hill, Joe Diffie, Doug Stone, Billy Dean. All these people couldn't get a record deal at the time. They all went on to get record deals and be big stars. And so I met this kid named Garth Brooks who was cleaning churches and selling boots. And he had just moved from Oklahoma, and he thought, well, maybe I can make more money singing demos than cleaning churches and selling boots. So he brought me over a cassette. If you don't remember those, you can look it up on Google, I guess. But he played me 6 songs. I really liked what he did. I said, I'll start using you. And when he was leaving that day, he said, hey, I write a little bit too. I thought, well, hey, let's write a song. So we set up a writing appointment, and when we try to get together and write songs, every one of us hopefully is bringing in some ideas that they like, and the other co-writer will bring in ideas that he likes, and by the end of the day, you'll have a song from some of the ideas that you shared. And so Garth walked in that day, and at the time he was wearing these big long dusters and big cowboy hats, and he looked like he was 8 feet tall because he's pretty tall anyway. And I was sitting on the couch with my guitar, and he stood above me and he said, hey, I've got this song I've run by 25 writers and nobody likes it. And I looked up at him and I said, gee, thanks. He said, well, don't you want to hear it? And I said, well, yeah, play me what you got. And so he played me this little thing, and when he was done, I said, well, I really like it because it's kind of what my mother told me about, tell the people you love how you feel about them while they're still alive. And he said, well, what's the matter with the song? And I said, well, you're killing somebody off in the first verse, and so there's really nowhere to go after that. It's like killing off the star of the movie in the first 3 minutes. So he said, what would you do? And I told him, and we did it, and we wrote this song. And we thought we'd written a really good song, so we went up to my studio, and Garth did a guitar vocal of it, which of course was fantastic. And we pitched it around town for about a year, and we pitched him around town for about a year, and nobody was interested. Everybody said, he'll never get a record deal with a name like Garth.
Never happened.
Never happened. And nobody was really interested in the song, so we had actually scheduled a time to get together and rewrite the song. And that same week, he got a call from the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville to come sing one song. An artist who was supposed to show up didn't, and they needed somebody to fill in the slot. So Garth came, and he sang this song, and somebody from Capitol Records, who was in the audience, had passed on him for the 3rd time that week. And he said, well, maybe we missed something. Why don't you come back in? He went back in and got a record deal. And this was his 2nd single and his first #1. And it goes like this. Sometimes late at night, I'll lie awake and watch her sleeping. She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the light and lay there in the dark. And the thought crosses my mind, if I never wake up in the morning, would she ever doubt the way I feel about her in my heart? And if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? Sorry, it still gets to me. And did I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one. And if my time on earth were through, then she must face this world without me. Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? Don't cry, honey, 'cause I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I love them. Yeah. Now I live with the regret that my true feelings for them never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself to say each day how much she means to me, and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. And if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one? And if my time on earth were through, she must face this world without me. Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? So tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. Whew. Beautiful part, Steve.
A beautiful song.
Thank you. Still gets to me. So Garth is kind of, as a songwriter, a great songwriter, but I call him a spewer because you can be in the middle of writing one song and he'll be over in the corner and he'll be singing something else, and you'll ask him what it is and he'll go, oh, I don't know, I'm just working on that. So we've written 4 or 5 songs that have been recorded that way, that he's off around the room singing crazy lines and we turn it into a song. And another co-writer that I work with is like that too. His name's Corey Batten. He's an amazing singer-songwriter and a Tonewood player. And Corey and I write about every Thursday, and you'll just be working on something and he'll be working on something else. And so one day we had kind of started a song and I was fixing him lunch and he had his head in the refrigerator and I heard him singing with no guitar or anything, all I can think about is getting you home. And I said, Corey, what is that? He said, I don't know, I just made it up. I said, well, make it up into my phone. So we were down pitching Corey as an artist at RCA Records a few months later. And I knew it wasn't going very good because the woman who was listening was also watching the worst 100 hurricanes in the last 100 years on the Weather Channel. And I kind of got the idea maybe she really wasn't into it. So when we were leaving, another A&R person came up to me and she said, we've got an artist we're working with. His name's Chris Young. And he's had 3 singles out and none of them have done very well. And if he doesn't have a hit, he's going to lose his record deal. Would you write with him? And I said, well, sure, I'll be glad to. And of course, Corey's standing right there. And I said, if I can bring Corey, and she said, I don't care what you do as long as you write with him. So we got together with Chris to write, and it was one of those days that co-writers dread where nobody likes anybody else's ideas. And so you kind of just go, okay, well, let's talk about baseball or something, you know. And so we kind of sat there for a while, and it was very stressful because here's a recording artist, which it's hard enough to get with a recording artist these days. And we didn't have any ideas. So I said, wait a minute, guys, let me find this idea on my phone. And so I pulled up the little thing of Corey singing in the refrigerator. And Corey said, well, I love that idea. And I said, of course you do. It's yours. He's an only child. And Chris said, well, we don't have anything better to write. We might as well write that. And so we started working on it, and it was going good. And we got to the chorus where it went, walking through the front door. And 3 professional writers couldn't come up with anything that rhymed with door that was clean. And so I said, well, how about seeing her black dress hit the floor? And Corey said, well, you're just a dirty old man. And I said, I won't argue that. And Chris said, I'm 23. I could never sing that. So we kind of kicked other lines around and kind of stared at each other. And finally I said, well, let me fix you lunch. So while we were fixing lunch, Corey said he was looking around the room, and I had a song that had gone #1 about standing in the kitchen with nothing but an apron on, and had another one about ain't going down till the sun comes up. And so it was one of those things. Corey said, you know, Chris, he's had pretty good luck with little risque ideas. And Chris said, well, you know, we ain't got anything better to put in there, so let's put it in there. And so we did, and we finished the song, and Chris did a guitar vocal of it at my house, and he's an amazing singer. And he took it down to RCA, and they called me up and said, well, we love this song, we want to record it. And so I said, hey, great. So the next week they called me up and said, we recorded it, we love it, we want it to be the first single, but. And so when the record label puts a but in something, you start worrying. And I thought, okay, so tell me what the but is. And they said, we like the title Getting You Home, but in parentheses, we want it to be called the Black Dress Song. So I felt like the dirty old man got vindicated that his line got in the title of the song. And it goes like this right here. Tuxedo waiter, black tie, white tablecloths, and red wine. We've been planning this night, looking forward to it for some time. Well, honey, I know you love getting dressed up, and you know I love showing you off, watching your baby blue eyes dancing in the candlelight glow. Well, all I can think about is getting you home. Walking through the front door, seeing your black dress hit the floor. Well, honey, it sure ain't nothing like you loving me all night long. And all I can think about is getting you home. Oh, Steve. Don't need no menu, no I don't. I already know just what I want. Did I hear you right? Did you tell me? Go pay the waiter and let's leave. Well, honey, I know by that look in your eyes, and your hand drawing hearts on mine. All night out of the house ain't gonna last too long, when all you can think about is getting me home. Walking through the front door, seeing your black dress hit the floor. Honey, sure ain't nothing like you loving me all night long. And all I can think about is getting you home, oh, Steve. walking through the front door and seeing your black dress hit the floor. Honey, sure ain't nothing like you loving me all night long. And all I can think about, all I can think about, all I can think about is getting you home. I'll tell you something. Good job. So, when Steve Allen first joined the band, I was getting ready to go in and do a new record. And so I wanted him to play on the song about Tom Petty. We're both big Tom Petty fans, and Tom had just passed away, and we were both pretty upset about it. So I asked Steve to come down and play on this thing, and I didn't know him all that well, so he said, well, just let me know what time. And so when we broke for lunch, I called him up and I said, come down, we'll get you in there right after we do lunch. We'll just cut the song. And so he brought in his Fender Deluxe blackface, no reverb, Stratocaster, his pedal board, plugged in, and he played this most amazing solo on the first take that he was like, well, you want me to fix something? And everybody was just sitting there going, what would you fix? It's just perfect. So on that record, This Is This Man, and that just showed me at that time how good he was on a guitar. You know, he just very professional, came in, played it, nailed it, packed up his amp and left, you know. So
Good times.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Good times. We have a lot of good times. So it goes like this right here. Send it out to all the Tom Petty fans. He came rolling out of Gainesville like a runaway train, along on the wild desire, with a smoking little band called the Heartbreakers, helping to fuel the fire. We're all free falling and learning to fly. And you wrote the soundtrack of our lives. Goodbye, Tom Petty, you sure missing you. We were not ready for you to leave this world so soon. Oh, thank you for the songs and the memories. You're every six stringer's fantasy. Goodbye, Tom Petty. In our bars, a rock star who felt more like a friend, a real life hero of the heartland. We weren't ready for the story to end. Every time one of your sweet songs come on, we're wishing you weren't really gone. Goodbye, Tom Petty, we're sure missing you. We were not ready for you to leave this world so soon. Oh, thank you for the songs and the memories. You're every six stringer's fantasy. Goodbye, Tom Petty. ones make the magic seem so easy. You let the 40 years legacy. Goodbye, Tom Petty. Wish it was in you. We were not ready for you to leave this world so soon. Goodbye, Tom Petty. Goodbye, Tom Petty. Damn, that was better than on the record.
I had fun with that one.
Woo!
So you should have let me have 2 takes.
Well, I guess so. Next time.
Next time.
So I was talking earlier about having a demo studio and all the people that I used. And my favorite female singer was a girl named Trisha Yearwood. And she's still my favorite female singer. And so I kept telling Garth about her. I said, I've got this woman you need to hear. She's my favorite singer. And I think you two would be good together and sing. Your voices would just blend really well. And he's like, well, I got a demo singer that I use. I don't really need anybody else. And so I kept working on him for like 6 months or whatever. And he wouldn't budge. He didn't want to hear. And so I'm stubborn and he's stubborn. So what I did was I wrote a duet where they had to come in and sing at the same time on the same microphone. And the minute they did start singing, they both felt the magic. They knew that their voices blended just incredibly well. And so Garth had just got a record deal, and he said to her, I'll help you get a record deal. I'll help you get out on the tours, and I'll help you any way I can. I'll help you with management. So he kind of got her a record deal, got her out on the road, and she became a huge artist. I never dreamed they would get married. Never crossed my mind. There may be an ex-wife in Oklahoma not happy that I introduced those two, but they're very happily married now, and it's always a joy when I hear those two singing together, knowing that I put them together. So 10 years later and 100 million records later, Garth comes to me and he said, I want to write a song about falling in love with Trisha Yearwood, and I want you to write it with me. So we wrote this. It was on the Scarecrow album, and it was the title cut off that, and the first song on the record, and it was a single, and it goes like this right here. Well, I can hear the highway calling as I watch the sunrise falling across her shoulders. And this is usually goodbye, but those words you just can't find as I hold her. Oh, she's like no other woman I've ever known before. It ain't me to see the morning come from this side of the door. Why ain't I running? Why ain't I gone? And how does she hold me without holding on? Oh, in love over a fight, she's stronger than strong. And something's not right if there ain't nothing wrong. And it's got me wondering, why ain't I running? Oh, why ain't I gone? All those worlds I left behind me, hoping they would never find me in my freedom. And if they stood right there beside me, they'd never recognize me for what she's done. Oh, once happiness was only when I was on my own. So why do I feel lonely anytime that I'm alone? Why ain't I running? Why ain't I gone? How does she hold me without holding on? Oh, in love over a fight, She's stronger than strong. If something's not right, if there ain't nothing wrong, and it's got me wondering, why ain't I running? Oh, why ain't I gone? I'll stay down there. Jimmy Hendrix. I don't think I've done it that way. Oh, they've never built a wall that high or made a chain that strong. God ain't ever made a place I feel like I belong. Why ain't I running? Why ain't I gone? And how does she hold me without holding on? Oh, in love or a fight, she's stronger than strong. Something's not right if there ain't nothing wrong, and it's got me wondering, why ain't I running? Oh, why ain't I gone? Oh, why ain't I running?
I thought I'd freak you out.
I'll tell you, out of all the solos I've ever heard, that was one of them. Kind of cool. I've never heard you use your wah-wah before.
It's been hidden away. I think. I
Woo.
don't know. You got to look in that closet.
You do. You never know what you're going to find in that closet.
Or skeleton.
So, every record that I do, I like to pay honor and homage to other artists that have inspired me, and like the Tom Petty one. And so a while back, I was just thinking about all the songwriters that have influenced me. And of course, Nashville's just rich with songwriters that are just so amazing. And I started thinking, well, who really is the father of songwriting to me? And it's Bob Dylan. And, you know, he started out as a folk artist, and then he became a rock and roll star. And he was probably one of the first people that had to deal with being a rock and roll star. And you got to really want it and hang in there. It's just like I tell people that want to come to Nashville, or the people that move to Nashville, you kind of have to be crazy to come here and think you can do it and compete with all the people that have come before you. And I think my favorite story is Dolly Parton moved here when she was, I think, 18 years old. And the way she survived, she would eat leftover room service that people left outside their hotel doors. And that's true dedication to what you want to do. And there's so many phenomenal stories here about people that have come and lived in their cars or slept in the, you know, crawl spaces and stuff like that just to do what they wanted to do. But I think they've all been influenced by Bob Dylan, whether they know it or not. And when we cut this, I wanted it to be like half of it was acoustic, like he was doing at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965. And then the next night he came out with the rock and roll band and got booed off the stage. So there's my rock and roll band. He's going to come in and be the band. Kind of got his Telecaster like Robbie Robertson. And we'll see what happens here. Send this out to Bob Dylan. Looking back, it was the age of shattered innocence. Us kids thought the world still made perfect sense. With lies and propaganda filling up our heads, he came rolling out of him. We'd never seen or heard the likes of him before. He was a child of Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, and a couple more. He was kicking down some walls, Lord, and opening some doors when he hit New York City. And he sang the times they are changing. And man, he was right. We were blowing in the wind and itching for a fight. So we picked up protest signs, picked up our guitars, trying to say exactly what we're feeling in our hearts. He was the Pied Piper, we were his children. Oh, we're following the footsteps of Dylan. Well, I heard McQueen's 12-string on Tambourine Man. Yeah, that's when I felt like my life really began. With the 6-string in my lap and a pencil in my hand. Oh, follow in the footsteps of Dylan. Now troubadours, poets, and prophets turned their life into a song. Joni Mitchell, Tom Petty, and Chris Christopherson, they laid it all on the line. Oh, they were more than willing to follow in the footsteps of Dylan. And he sang the times they are changing. Man, he's still right. Somewhere somebody's singing some of his songs tonight. So we pick up the pen and we pick up our guitars, trying to say exactly what we're feeling in our hearts. He's a living legend and we're his children. Lord, we're following the footsteps of Dylan. Now some have burned out, some gave up, Lord, some have made a killing, following the footsteps of Dylan. Woo-hoo! Now some have burned out, some gave up, Lord, some have made a killing, following the footsteps of Dylan. Woo-hoo! Robbie Robertson would be proud. We're going to do a crazy one here at the end, I think. Let me do something real quick here. Got to rock out on the end, so there we go. I got a call one day from Garth that he wanted to write a song with machine gun lyrics. And he called me up and said, call Kim Williams, we're going to write a song with machine gun lyrics. So he showed up at my house, and I just moved into this house that had been vacant for a year and a half. It had been a foreclosure, and it was in need of a lot of work. So we went out on the back porch, and we wrote machine gun lyrics all day, and Kim and Garth and I just laughed and had fun. And about the time that we were as red as this sticker here from Sunburn, we went in, and Garth said, well, I want a little drum machine on this thing. You know, I want to show it to my producer, and that's kind of the way I hear it. So I had a little bit of my studio set up, and I set up a drum machine. And back then, drum machines were not real good, and especially if it was a guitar player playing the drums, because then by the time it was programmed, it sounded like a guitar player playing the drums. So I started this thing going, and Kim and Garth were standing behind me, and one of them turned around and went, "Oh my God." I looked up, there were termites coming out of the floor and the ceiling and the wall. I guess the drum machine pissed them off.
Oh my God.
So it's not good when you got a letter that says, "You got no termites in your new house." So I was kind of freaking out about it, and Garth said, "Oh man, I'm sorry." And Kim started laughing. He said, "Well, don't worry about it." When he and I wrote Papa Love Mama, there were cockroaches all over my apartment, and it was a #1 song, and this is going to be too. And he was right. And then we got to see Garth fly across the stage in Dallas, Texas, singing this song. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you once again to Tonewood, to Helene, Oprah, and David especially, who had me up and running 1 minute after we were supposed to start, because I'm the lowest low tech there possibly is. But thank you, and we'll see you again. Mr. Steve Allen on guitar, great friend, great writer, amazing guitar player, even on the wah-wah. So goes like this. Well, 5 o'clock on Friday evening, Mama doesn't know she's leaving till she hears the screamer slamming the rubber squid and gives her jamming a local country station, blaring on the radio, picking up at 7, then they're heading to the rodeo. Mama's on the front porch screaming out a warning, "You better get your red head back in bed before the morning." Well, 9 o'clock the show is ended, but the fun is just beginning. She knows he's anticipating. She's gonna keep him waiting, grab a bite to eat, head out to the honky tonk, but loud crowds and line dancing ain't what they really want. Drive down through the boondock, park down by the creek, hey, where it's George straight relay, dancing cheek to cheek. And we ain't going down till the sun comes up. I ain't giving in till we get enough. Going round the world in a beat up truck. We ain't going down to Steve Allen plays a solo. And dancing, midnight starts a hot romance. 1 o'clock the truck is rocking, 2 is coming, still no stop. Break the check, the clock at 3, riding where they wanna be. 4 o'clock it up, get going, 5 o'clock the rooster's crowing. And we ain't going down till the sun comes up. I ain't giving in till we get enough. Going round the world in a beat up truck. We ain't going down till Steve plays another one. Six o'clock on Saturday, and folks don't know he's on his way to Slauson between the horses. They say she's rounded till she's dead. Here he comes around the bend, slowing down, she's jumping in. Hey, Mom, your daughter's coming, there they go again. And we ain't going down to the sun comes up. Ain't getting it till we get enough. Going round the world in a beat up truck. We ain't going down till the sun comes up. Ain't going down till the sun comes up. Ain't going down till the sun comes up. Ain't going down to Steve Allen, play some hot blues that could get us out of this song. Thank you guys for joining us. Mr. Steve Allen on guitar. Thank you, Tonewood. See you again down the line. Bye-bye.